It's 57 degrees. So it went down 13 degrees, but you know, it's only going to get colder. Didn't really feel cold when I was shoveling, but it is going to get colder and colder because it went down 13 degrees in like 7 hours, give or take, around that. No! Stop it! Just I'm enjoying a little bit of, you know, daylight. You can see this tree could come down on the deck, but I don't think it would really do much damage. It's too light. It's lasted for years and hasn't come down, you know. It gets weighed down with the snow. It could, you know. I couldn't believe, I was so horrified what happened in New York to that woman and her family. That was a big, thick tree that apparently was dead, and it was heavy and crashed down on her and her kids, but they all survived, and they survived without, you know, being paralyzed or something. She shielded her kids. I think she has a husband. I think her husband was saying, yeah, she threw herself on top of the kids, because you don't get much warning. It's coming, you can't even get out of the way, but she threw herself on top of her kids instinctively. Yeah, bam, 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 3 in a row, so the trees are already weakened from the snow, and, you know, who knows? I don't know how many people lost power last time. The news will say X, Y, and Z, and then you go online and it says something different, and I don't know. Not last time, the time before. The last storm wasn't bad. It was the storm, the first one was bad. Or I should say, just for, you know, my area, because everyone's area is different. You live in Worcester, and I think the last storm was super, super bad. This one doesn't seem like we got as much snow as suspected, but I can't really tell. Remember when snow blows around, you can't really tell. But that's right there in that corner is that carrier, you know, big dog carrier that was too big. I ordered that years ago. It wound up actually getting here when I wasn't here anymore, when I was at Bobby's place, which isn't even his place. It's owned by his landlord, but anyway. And when I ordered it, I didn't realize it was so big. It's too big for a dog Omar's size anyway, or Angel's size, so it was pointless. But then you couldn't return it or anything. It had been months, you know, so don't really use it, except I've put Omar in it before. But I prefer putting him just in that, what I call a cage, because it looks like a cage. And when he could see, he could really see out of it good. Now he can't see, so it really doesn't matter, does it? What you put him in. Anyway, as usual, all I want to do is eat, even though I'm not hungry. Because what else is there to do but eat or sleep, you know? It's so fucking boring, and it's going to get dark, and it's going to get cold, and like I told you, I don't want to ask my friend. She hears from Eversource, but what they say is bullshit, because last time it was supposed to be 8:30 that night, it was supposed to come on, okay, the time, which was the 3 nor'easters ago, the first nor'easter of 3 in an 11-day period. We may be breaking records, because they said the last time we got 3 in less than 2 weeks was way, way back. They were saying this before the first one was arriving, or no, when the second one was coming or something. I don't know, then we were going to get a third, something like that, but we may have broken records, who knows. But anyway, the thing is that I don't like to be told it's going to, Everett says, oh, it should come back at 8:30, and it comes back 9 hours later, 5:30 the next morning. So it wound up being 36 hours and a half, 36 and a half hours, 36 and a quarter hours. And I'd rather not know. I'd rather not. I did already talk to my friends just to jokingly bitch, because you can't bitch. I mean, there are people who have trees fall in their houses. There are people who just, get murdered for no reason. Like that guy, she thought, she hinted around to her friend, her boyfriend of a few months or something. I think she'd only been dating him a few months, and, you don't know anybody in a few months anyway, and she hinted around to her friend, I think he's going to ask me to marry him. No, she was pregnant with his kid, and he was luring her in a remote place so he could fucking kill her. Unreal. At least allegedly. But I have a feeling that that's going to be the truth, that he's been arrested for it anyway, and I don't know that they found out who killed that whole family, the woman and the 3 kids. It's just 2, 5, and 7. Unreal. Stabbed to death in Brookfield, West Brookfield. I haven't heard anything about that. Last time I heard, they're still hoping to have leads. In an instance like that, you pray to whatever God you may or may not believe in, that it's not the dad who did it. They said the dad was out of town, but that doesn't mean anything. There's been lots of cases in fiction on real life, and fiction books and movies, TVs, plus real life too, I'm sure, where it's the person who you think is out of town, but he sneaks home and does it. And then his alibi is he's out of town. I've seen that in movies, I have an alibi, I wasn't here, but then they find out that someone saw him in town and he really wasn't out of town, and the fictional thing, I'm sure it's happened in real life. Everything we see in the movies and whatnot has happened at some point in real life. That's the scary thing, except for maybe fantasy things like vampires and werewolves and stuff. But the verdict's still out on that, as far as I'm concerned. Joe's text to me a couple of weeks ago, life as great tragedy. That's what he wrote. He's probably quoting from some famous philosopher or something. Life as great tragedy. Yep. Anyway, I gotta go to the bathroom. Bye.